everybody, for this Week 4 matchup between the 2-1 Cleveland Browns and the 1-2 Indianapolis Colts. Over 57,000 expected today to see who can unleash the speed. Can the Browns finally get Eric Metcalf loose and get him some running room? Or can the Indianapolis Colts give this man just a crease, Marshall Faulk, because his speed will take care of the rest? Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Donovan. And great to be with Beasley, Reece.
Absolutely.
And for the Cleveland Browns, not so great to be here in Indianapolis. This has been a house of horrors the last 2 years, Beasley. The Browns have not played well here in the Dome.
You know, there's no excuse for losing, but there were things happening. 2 years ago, the Browns had trouble with the offensive line. They gave up 11 sacks. Last year, they came here right in the middle of that Bernie Kosar, Vinny Testaverde controversy. So there was stuff happening. That's all been settled. The key today will be defense. And when you talk defense in Cleveland, you talk about that defensive line. It's one of the best in the National Football League, led by that man, number 92, Michael Dean Perry. They've also got some great leadership at the linebacker position. Pepper Johnson is the emotional leader for this football team.
And the man they must stop is Marshall Faulk of the Indianapolis Colts. Michael Dean Perry said their offense is Faulk, Faulk, Faulk.
That's all they're talking about is Faulk, 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 and it's for good reason. This guy leads the AFC in rushing. He leads the National Football League in total yards from scrimmage. He is special. He's proven it since day one. And boy, if you want to see a great runner and have a lot of fun, you keep your eye on number 28. I guarantee you that the Cleveland Browns will be doing just that, Jimmy.
Eric Metcalf in a new role right now at the start here today. He is back on kickoffs. You'll see him back on punts, but today he hooks up with Randy Baldwin back on kickoffs, and so far, that's the way the Browns have done things. Dean Biasucci, really there's no way around the Browns' great returns, because on the other side of Metcalf is Baldwin, who averages this year over 47 yards on kickoff returns. So who do you kick it to?
That's almost criminal. I mean, when you talk about return danger, Cleveland has it, and don't count Indianapolis out when they get their chance, because they've got some dangerous people also with it. So special teams, Jim's going to be really big in this football game.
Both coaches pointed that out. Dean Biasucci ready to get us started. The Colts are 1-0 in this building this season. They blew out Houston, and the Browns are trying to end a mini hex here in Indianapolis. They kick to Baldwin, and he takes it at his own 2. And there he goes. Baldwin has the sideline, and he's out near the 34-yard line. 32-yard return for Baldwin. Tackle made by the rookie Damon Watts, and here comes Vinny Testaverde with offensive coordinator Steve Crosby. This has been a good offensive line for Cleveland, and especially this week helped out by Steve Everett, who had to leave last week's game with a pinched nerve in his shoulder. In the middle of the line, he's okay. In the backfield, Testaverde, and they have a new starting wide receiver, the rookie Derek Alexander out of Michigan. He caught 6 passes, 1 for a touchdown last week. When they go 3 wide, they bring in speed with Rico Smith. They are missing Michael Jackson for the second week in a row. He has a hamstring problem and didn't make the trip. They go to Leroy Horde, and Horde brings it out near the 39-yard line. So they opt to go with a big backfield rather than Metcalf and start Horde instead. Here's the front 4, and it's really been banged up for the Indianapolis Colts. John Hand is out, so a rookie from Indiana, Bernard Whittington, gets the start. And Tony McCoy is back in after arthroscopic knee surgery. Damon Watts, the rookie from Indiana. 2 rookies from the Indiana University starting here for the Colts. And Ashley Ambrose will join them on the nickel package. 2nd down and 5 for Cleveland. Wardell and Horde make up the I formation backfield. Horde's 2nd carry. Siragusa stops him near the 42-yard line.
Jim, on the first 2 plays of the game, Indianapolis showed an 8-man front. They walked the strong safety up, and each time, Cleveland was able to gain yardage, good yardage on 1st down. Indianapolis did a better job that time on 2nd down, but we're seeing an 8-man front.
Tony Siragusa, who just said he would enjoy all day long getting run right into. That's his job. Just bang into me all day, and then those great linebackers that the Colts have can clean up. It's 3rd down and 2. Horde leaves the lineup, and Metcalf is in. Wardell is out as a wide receiver. That's Kinchin in motion. And that's Metcalf open for a 1st down, and there's the running room, and there's the speed of Metcalf. Touchdown, Cleveland. 57 yards.
Well, the Cleveland fans want to see the ball in that man's hand. And, boy, that's exactly. Now, you know the killer on this one? When we were talking to the defensive linemen for the Indianapolis Colts, they told us that Metcalf hides and then slips out of the backfield once the play starts, and they like to hit him on short little crossing passes over the middle. They knew it was coming. They expected it. They told us about it, Jimmy. And then here's a touchdown.
Tupa handles a low snap and bangs it through. Exactly what the Browns wanted to do, a quick start. If Ted Marchibroda looks worried, he should be. The Browns went 3 plays, 66 yards, and score on this 57-yard touchdown pass from Vinny Testaverde, throwing to Eric Metcalf.
Metcalf's on the left side of your screen. He slips out of the backfield, and watch the missed tackles. There's Harbaugh, there's McDonald, those guys missing, and then from there, it's a foot race that Eric Metcalf will win every day, day in, day out for the entire year.
His 13th career reception for a touchdown. 7-0 Browns. Ronald Humphrey, who took the opening kickoff of last week's game in Pittsburgh, 95 yards for a touchdown. He's out to the 20. Whoa, he's got room, and Eric Turner brings him down out over the 30 at the 33. If he got by Turner, he only had to get by Stover, and I like his chances against Stover. Here comes Jim Harbaugh and the Indianapolis Colts offensive unit, which now must answer the Browns' quick strike. It's a good offensive line, and it has to be a good offensive line because they drafted a great back who needs holes, and so far they've been doing a pretty good job. Harbaugh has the outstanding rookie Faulk in there with him in the backfield. And in passing situations, when they go 3 wide, they'll call on Shannon Baker to join Dawkins, Turner, and the tight end Cash. So there he is, held by the Pittsburgh Steelers last week to 61 yards, but that's been the only defense that has held him down. Marshall Faulk. 7-0 Browns. And Faulk slams it up right into Pepper Johnson's number 52 and brings it out over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Let's meet the Browns front four, which Buddy Ryan, after last week's visit to Cleveland, said that's the best front four in the NFL.
I agree with him. Tough guy, especially Michael Dean Perry.
The rookie, and he's a good one, their top draft choice out of Alabama, Antonio Langham, starting at the corner. And then when they go to their nickel package, they'll bring in Isaac Booth and Mike Caldwell. So it's 2nd down for the Colts. 8 yards to go. Faulk again. Here's the change. A change of pace out to the 40-yard line, and the Browns fly in to make the hit. That was going left and turned right.
Well, that's what very few running backs can actually make that cut. And that's one that Pepper Johnson talked to us about in the meeting yesterday. He said that Marshall Faulk will run away from color.
Now Ted Marchibroda putting his signature on this game. The no-huddle offense right up to the line of scrimmage. This has given Cleveland problems when Marchibroda has faced them. Faulk carries, 1st down, Colts out over the 45 near the 47.
Hard running by Marshall Faulk, good blocking up front. And an interesting note, in our meeting yesterday with Ted Marchibroda, you asked him, was he going to go to the no-huddle? What did he tell us? He said no. He said, no, wait.
So, yeah.
He said, I don't think we're going to do that. Hey, man, you picked his brain.
I knew he was holding something back here. 1st down, it's been all Marshall Faulk. Now the play fake, and Harbaugh will take it and run. And keep on running. 25. Inside the 15, and they'll add some extra yardage on because I believe Don Griffin got him by the face mask.
No, I don't believe he got the face mask, but he went at the head. You can't go at the head in the National Football League, especially when a quarterback is running. Now take a look at this. Just a perfect little fake to Marshall Faulk. Michael Dean Perry actually hits Faulk. When you've got a guy with that type of talent, he draws a lot of attention. Harbaugh turns it up and does what he has done for years. I mean, he's a great runner, and you saw right at the end of the play, Don takes the right arm, Griffin, and wraps it around Harbaugh's head, and that's the that resulted in the penalty.
41 yards. Let's pick up the call. Our referee is Gary Lane.
Half the distance to the goal line. 1st down.
And it goes against against Cleveland, half the distance to the goal line, down near the 6-yard line. And Beasley, you're right. It was the slap to the head.
Yeah, you can't go up there.
So they'll come up to the line of scrimmage at the 6, 1st and goal. Roosevelt Potts is the lone back in the backfield. Faulk is out wide, right at the bottom of your screen. Plenty of time. Tight end Cash can't hang on. Flag is thrown right in the middle of the blocking scheme out in front of Harbaugh. Harbaugh says it's against the Browns. Let's go back to the Harbaugh run, Beasley, and take a look at what Griffin did to Harbaugh right at the end of the run.
Now, first of all, when a quarterback does this, he's going to be punished. Look at the wind-up and the pound.
You know, I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, it wasn't to the head, but the referee's standing right there.
He hit him in the shoulder.
Well, but you can't wind up and try to punish the quarterback. I mean, I agree with you. It wasn't to the head, but you cannot take that wind-up. That is still unnecessary roughness. That's almost like throwing a punch, Jim. You can't reach back behind you and slam a guy with the right arm.
Inside the 5-yard line. 1st down and goal. The ball is at the 3. Carlos Etheridge. Extra tight end in motion. Faulk bounces outside. Hits it down to the 1. Did not get in. Rob Burnett is over on the tackle with Michael Dean Perry.
Well, this is a pretty good offensive line against a very good defensive line. And you get a real good look at the full blocking on the right-hand side. Good lead block by Potts. But still, just great defense. These guys are going to be all over it. And talking a little trash to the rookie.
2nd down and goal, just over the 1-yard line. That's Roosevelt Potts out in front of Faulk. Etheridge again in motion. Faulk again. Touchdown, Colts. So the Metcalf touchdown is answered right back by the Colts. Power football up front to Marshall Faulk.
Nothing tricky about this. Straight ahead blocking by everybody. Lead blocking by Roosevelt Potts. And some power running by 205-pounder Marshall Faulk for the touchdown. But what is more impressive is the fact that the Colts of old would have been demoralized by the quick touchdown by Cleveland. This new team sits in there and responds.
Suchi for the tie, and no signal yet. Now they finally say it is good, and this ball game is even. 7-7 the score here at the RCA Dome. Both teams 1 possession, 1 score. Back at the RCA Dome, everybody. The Indianapolis Colts wanted to get this guy going once again after an off week in Pittsburgh, and they have as he goes in for a touchdown from a 1.5 yards out. The Browns wanted to unleash Eric Metcalf, and they have as he went on a touchdown catch on a 3rd and 2 play for a touchdown.
Jimmy, it's true to form. That guy is a home run hitter. He catches a little sharp pass, turns it into a home run. Marshall Faulk, the workhorse, he can hit them long. Now, don't get me wrong, but still, from scrimmage, just pounding it out, leading his team down, helped by Harbaugh's great run.
Of 41 yards, 66 yards on the drive, 6 plays. It took 2:48, and this game is even at 7 apiece. Kicking away from Metcalf again, which doesn't bother the Browns to have Baldwin touch it. And here comes Randy again. And he's out near the 30-yard line. Tackle on the play for Indianapolis made by Stephen Brandt. Series 2 for Vinny Testaverde. Talking it over with Steve Crosby.
Yeah.
When we talked to Crosby yesterday, there's a flag down on the return. But when we talked with Crosby yesterday, I asked him, do you want to give Testaverde a safe pass to throw his first throw of the game? Because
team number 36,
he's had his problems.
5-yard penalty re-kick.
The Browns, do they want to have this re-kicked? Or do you want the ball out at the 30-yard line? Now remember, Baldwin averages over 47 yards on returns, and I think they're going to make him kick it again.
And also another warning, and I'm sure that the special team coaches for Indianapolis have noticed this. Every time they kick the ball, when Metcalf just starts running out to the right, way away from the play. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of throwback or some type of reverse later on in the game. I mean, it's odd the way Metcalf is running completely away from the guy who's catching the ball.
All right, remember, this is a doubleheader day right here on NBC. So you're watching the Browns and Colts. Coming up, game 2 of the doubleheader. Most of you will see the AFC Central matchup, Houston and Cincinnati. Someone's got to get a win there. Some of you will see Pittsburgh battle Seattle at the special time of 6 Eastern. That move is necessitated by the shift of game site from the Kingdom to Husky Stadium. So there's plenty of more football coming up here today on week 4 here on NBC. Very dangerous Eric Metcalf.
That he is.
And I'm sure at times, Beasley, the very frustrated Eric Metcalf when he's returning because it's so blatant, teams kick away from him.
Well, that's also a compliment. We talked to him about that yesterday, and he said when they kick away from me, it's a compliment to my ability, but he certainly wants to return the ball. Well, this is tough to have to re-kick. I mean, these guys, you're talking about a 50, 60-yard wind sprint for those defensive players for Indianapolis, and you're talking about another violent play. I mean, you start kicking off and punt returning, man. If you talk about some bangs and collisions, you don't want to line up and do that again.
And kicking from the 25-yard line now, too.
Critical coverage point right here for Indianapolis. They have got to get down there.
Again, it's sailing down to Baldwin. That's a pretty good kick by Diasucci. Baldwin took it at the 6. Baldwin will gain about 2 yards out to the 31 after that penalty and re-kick, because they would have started at about the 29 and they go out to the 31-yard line. Back to Testaverde, though. The safe pass that we talked about yesterday with Crosby. Now go back to the first series. His only pass was the 3rd and 2 little flick to Metcalf, which indeed was very safe and very productive.
And very productive. Crosby was saying that really you want to do that with any quarterback for his first throw in the game, just to get warmed up. You want to have a little short pass. That's exactly what they went with, and it worked.
Metcalf is in the backfield and heading out in motion. That leaves Bardell alone for his first carry, and he is stopped. Good pursuit there by the Indianapolis Colts. Tony McCoy, 61, leads the charge, and what a story. Just less than 2 weeks ago, after the Tampa Bay game, he had arthroscopic surgery, and he's back.
It's amazing. And you saw at the end of the play, he dropped to one knee and said thank you to somebody very special. He told us that prayer is what healed his knee. He asked God to help him out. And boys, his prayer was answered, and there he is leading the charge and back playing after surgery.
A tough yard for Bardell, who goes in motion on 2nd and 9. Metcalf in trouble and tripped up. Nice play by Stephen Grant.
Jim, guess who's getting into this game now?
The crowd.
The crowd. And that is a big problem in this stadium. It's one of the loudest places in the National Football League to play. It's very difficult to hear your audibles, your changes, and it's because of this great defense. Look at the swarming. Watch this now. Swarming players the last 2 plays.
And it's 3rd down and 9. 3 wide receivers in the game now for Cleveland. Rico Smith, Derek Alexander, and Mark Carrier. And that's Carrier in motion. Testaverde to roll out. Pressure coming. He's got Carrier open. He stretches out, but he was out of bounds when he came down. Incomplete. Cleveland punts.
Well, that one was there. Just a little bit late on the toss, but it was basically open. A little bit long, a little bit late for Testaverde on the throw that time.
Tom Tupa to punt, and he'll kick it away to Duell Brewer, who is back deep, standing over his own 20 at the 23. First punt of the day for Tupa. He fields that one. This is very returnable. Brewer up to the 35. Tackle made by Randy Baldwin. And we'll be right back. This ball game's even at 7-7. Back at the RCA Dome, Marshall Faulk tucked away in that Indianapolis Colts huddle. How good is he doing? Well, let's put him up against some pretty good company right here, Beasley, through their first 3 games.
How about Barry Sanders? What about Thurman Thomas? I mean, this kid has come out and he has put his stamp on the National Football League already. This time he's lining up as a wide receiver. He's got great speed, excellent hands.
Roosevelt Potts is the lone back. In behind Harbaugh, second possession for the Colts. And a quick toss across the middle, and it's caught by Dawkins and fumbled by Dawkins. And they're ruling that the pass was never caught by Dawkins. It's incomplete. Would have been a very big play for the Browns.
That could have been a huge play for the ground. Now, look how tight the coverage is. Just a bang-bang throw, and really that's almost caught. He had both knees down. I would call that a reception. I thought he had control with both knees down.
And so does he.
There's a little discussion going on now.
So they will caucus out near the 50-yard line. And the Browns feel that they scooped up a fumble by Sean Dawkins.
I feel that it was a reception with the player with both knees down and a defender on top of it. There's a stab. Both knees down. Player on top. The ground cannot cause a fumble.
The play is incomplete pass.
Okay, incomplete pass.
I think the Colts might have slipped away with one right there.
Here we go. Let's see. I think he's caught it. I think both knees are down, so the play's over. I think it was a reception.
Second down and 10. Just shy of the 35-yard line. A long count. Harbaugh. That little delay and a nice play. Faulk is wrapped up by Rod Burnett for a loss back to the 30-yard line. He'll lose close to 5.
Now that play is one that works a lot. It's kind of a half of a draw. But this defensive line is very experienced in Cleveland. Played together a long time, and Burnett just sniffs it right out.
As we met with the Browns defense, the top men on the Browns defense yesterday when they arrived in town, Pepper Johnson, Michael Dean Perry, did they have Faulk on their mind or what?
Yeah, every word. Faulk. 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 Faulk.
Third down, 15. Harbaugh rolls out. Down the field, Dawkins catches for a first down out near midfield as he came back for the ball.
This is a play you'll see a lot from both quarterbacks. Harbaugh and Testaverde roll out and throw the ball on the run very, very well. Now, if I'm playing defensive back in the backfield, I know that on a rollout, the guy's got to throw it to his right. Number one, he's a right-handed quarterback, and he's got to throw a comeback route because he can't throw it deep running full speed to his right.
It's a first down, and again they go to the no huddle, and Roosevelt Potts brings it up to the 50-yard line. Let's go to New York for an NFL Live update. Here's Greg.
All right, Jared, at Metrodome, Warren Moon and Chris Carter have hooked up for the first score of the day. The Vikings are on the board. This is worth 2 yards and a touchdown. Ahmad Rashad's favorite team with the extra point. Minnesota leading the Dolphins 7-0 in the first. Jim and Beasley, back to you.
Thanks, Greg. Tied here inside the RCA Dome. 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Second down. Plenty of time for Harbaugh. Potts is open. Oh, and he pulls his way for an Indianapolis first down. He was 4 yards shy of the first down, and he just put his chest down and knocked his way forward.
You know when he first caught that, I thought he was going to throw a move. Watch this. I thought he was going to throw a move right there. Then he said, wait a minute, I'm 240. He drops his head and slides it down for the first down.
Potts told us yesterday that actually he likes to be about 237, right, and then have a big meal and get up to 240 and feel strong.
And that's his strong weight, the blocking weight.
Good extra effort there. First down. Harbaugh had trouble with the snap, and 5, 6 flags fly.
I think everybody saw that.
False start. Offense. Number 63 prior to the snap.
Sounds like everybody had the right snap count except the center, Kirk Loudermilk.
That's rare. Now watch the center. Look at 63. He doesn't move. Everyone else moves. Quarterback hunches to take it. Guards, tackles, everybody take off.
cost them 5. First down at 15. 3 wide receivers. Faulk is out as a wide receiver. Top of your screen. Harbaugh looks, pumps, and throws it right into the line. It was knocked down by Big Dan Footman, 78. Footman, a pass rushing specialist.
Get a real good look at it right here. Now, the reason you saw that the cut by the offensive lineman, Will Wolford, was to get the defensive lineman down so that he could throw that quick, sharp pass. Didn't work that time.
A delay to fall. Footman chases the play, doesn't get him. And he brings it back to the 40-yard line. So he will get back the 5 yards that they lost on the penalty, and they'll come up close to third down and 10. And again, the talking continues. Stevan Moore chatting with Marshall Faulk.
Well, you always have to challenge a young player, but look who's talking back. The rookie is talking back. Another interesting thing about this play by Faulk is that, you know, the great ones always figure out a way to fall forward. Look at that.
Third down and just a little less than 10 yards. Third down about 9.5. Fox lined up in tight behind Harbaugh as they look for the Cleveland blitz, and here it comes from the outside and everywhere. And Harbaugh lobs it up there, and Turner can't run underneath it. It was an all-out blitz, everybody coming for the Browns.
Well, the adjustment on that play by the wide receiver was to just go deep. Great rush. Everybody's coming. Look at Pepper, Johnson, Stamps coming from the top of your screen. Burnett, the one breaking free. Harbaugh throws it up high. The receiver adjusts, but they just couldn't time it out right. That's great defense. Disruptive defense, I'll call it.
Rod Stark has knocked 4 out inside the 20. Over Metcalf's head. Hits at the 5. Oh, what a punt. Radisek knocks it down at the 3.
Talent.
Great job by Rod Stark.
Talent.
It's tied 7-7. Welcome back. Freddie Joe Nunn, 93, who was unemployed, was signed by the Colts this week to help out on their defensive line along with Al Noga. John Hand broke his leg last week. And on first down deep in their territory, Leroy Horde brings it over the 5 out near the 7-yard line.
That was big Tony Saragusa, one of my favorite players, coming in to help the, they call him Goose. You can hear the crowd out there.
Here's Al Noga. Noga had years with the Vikings, was with the Skins, went to Arizona's camp, had about a day there with Buddy Ryan, and got the call from Vince Tobin and the Colts to come on in and help on that defensive front 4. Second down, 8. It's Horde again. Oh, what a stick by Jeff Harbaugh.
Woo! Oh, they're playing defense. Hello. I love it when they do that, Jim. I love it when they do that.
Now remember, this defense was stung for 500 yards last week against Pittsburgh.
Speaking of stinging and getting stung, Harbaugh puts his little stinger in that time. Tough hit.
Metcalf is in. Rico Smith is in. Testaverde needs timeout. The crowd, the play clock, and a very critical play on third down and 6 from deep in your own territory warrants that.
It's only 40 seconds.
Well, the NFL's got plenty of cool customers, but none cooler than the Iceman, who was found frozen after 1,000 years. Is he a hoax, or is he the missing link? Find out tonight. Unsolved Mysteries beginning at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on NBC.
Hey, they come up with some stories, don't they?
And he's got such a great voice when he tells the story.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if the Iceman knows anything about football. I bet the Iceman would know that was a hard hit by Harbaugh.
Bill Belichick's team came out here today fired up and ready to go to end this 2-game losing streak that they have here at the RCA Dome, and they struck quickly on a third down and 2 play on their first possession. Eric Metcalf caught a pass and went the distance for a touchdown. But the Colts have come back and taken the game, tied it up, and are outplaying the Browns right now. A critical play deep in their own territory. Testaverde out. The catch is made. Did he get a spot? The first down? Yes. The rookie Alexander makes the catch, and he'll get the first down. Big play for the Browns.
Alexander's a big, slow-talking, kind of cool wide receiver out of Detroit. Very simple play, just a quick little sit down. Look how he's smart enough to go just far enough to get past the first down marker. Makes the catch. Easy play. Those cornerbacks for Indianapolis are known for giving a little bit too much cushion. Soft corners, they try not to give up the big play.
So it's a first down for the Browns as Metcalf goes out in motion to Bardell, and he's immediately brought down. Stephen Grant is having an excellent game so far. The linebacker 59 was right with Bardell and brings him down, but still a pretty good pickup by the Browns on first down.
That guy right there is a runner. You know, some players are runners. Quentin Coryatt's a runner. Grant's a runner. These guys have good foot speed to be 230, 240.
Second down and 6 as Cleveland comes up just shy of their 20. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Plenty of time for Testaverde. Goes long for Carrier and can't get him at the 50. He was working on the rookie Damon Watson, had him.
I'll tell you what, he had him on a double move. He went down, feigned as if he was going to break over the middle. You see Vinny just wait, and then when Carrier breaks free, and he was wide open. Boy, I tell you, that's one they'd like to have again, because that's one you practice all week, because you recognize that a particular cornerback is going to sit down on a route.
Now remember,
sat down and got away.
Beasley, excuse me, remember Carrier's been open twice now. Caught the ball on the sideline, but was out of bounds and was wide open on that last play. Third down and 6. Alexander racing in motion. This is Metcalf. Nope, won't get away. Made a heck of a catch. Had to pull it right off the turf and made the grab. And then 6 Colts around him. Wherever Metcalf goes, there is a crowd.
I tell you what, that was still pretty. No gain, didn't get it done, but still shows this man's athletic ability. Look at this. That's unbelievable. And to keep his feet, keep his balance, but like you said, Jim, that man and Marshall Faulk, those two athletes will collect a crowd around here.
Tupa punts. Dual Brewer is back. Catches it up high at the 42. Brewer, he is brought down at the 44 by number 37, Benny Thompson, who is a special teams ace. 39-yard punt, just a 2-yard return, and a whale of a hit by Benny Thompson. Well, there he is on the sideline. The great one.
No, the man.
Okay.
The man.
Jim Brown. Brought
That's
in
the man.
by the Browns to be a special consultant, but brought in earlier than normal this week because Bill Belichick wanted him to stress to the players how important it is to get this one here today.
That's right. The commitment to excellence, all of those things that, you know, Bill says, I can say it all day long, but when the man says it, the players really listen.
First down, good starting position for the Colts at their own 43. They go back to Marshall Faulk, who gets 3 to the 46. James Jones is in on the tackle for Cleveland.
It's going to be tough going for Marshall Faulk all day long against this defense. They will try to cover every gap. They recognize his running style. They've paid a great amount of attention to this guy this week in preparation.
Now they send him wide. He almost fumbled the ball. Got it back at the 47-yard line. Great pursuit by Footman, by Pepper Johnson, and by Griffin on the corner.
Man is special. And you know what? He builds it up. Take a look at those numbers. His first 10 carries and then the remaining carries of the game, he gets better and better as the contest goes on. This time he's lined up a wide receiver.
And again, they go without a huddle. Third down and 5. Harbaugh stands right in there, but he's going to be short of the first down as he completes the ball over the middle. Antonio Langham teams up with Eric Turner to make the stop of Marshall Faulk. Good defense played by the Browns. They denied Faulk of the first down. The crowd wants the Colts to go
at midfield they want him to go for. That's why the crowd does not have a coaching job.
Well, they won't get this punt off before the end of the first quarter. So the defenses of both teams, of Marchibroda and Belichick, are settling in now after 2 quick scores at the end of the first quarter of play here at the RCA Dome. It's the Cleveland Browns 7, the Indianapolis Colts 7. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. Welcome back to the RCA Dome, everybody. Jim Donovan along with Beasley, Reece. Cleveland 7, Indianapolis 7. As the 2 high steppers have the touchdowns in this one. Eric Metcalf for the Browns, 57-yard touchdown reception. Marshall Faulk from a yard out for the Indianapolis Colts. Metcalf stands back at his 10 as Ron Stark, who had a 36-yard effort his first punt but knocked the Browns out at their own 4, punts it away. Metcalf fakes like he's going to catch it, and he almost did it again. That is, knock it out inside the 5. This will be a touchback on a 47-yard punt. The Browns will start at their 20.
You know, Metcalf is the guy that most people say, get him the ball every time you can. And looking at the chart, he's had the 1 rush. He's actually had two receptions. He had the 1 touchdown and the 1 that was really pretty, the little short one. And he hasn't returned any of the kickoffs. And the offensive coordinator, Steve Crosby, told us that, you know, it's unfair the way people complain about the lack of use of Metcalf, because sometimes almost every defense comes in here saying, we've got to stop number 21. They double him. They pay a lot of attention to him. They practice at him all week. So if you're going to stop Metcalf, we're going to throw it to somebody else. We'll use him as a decoy. It was an excellent explanation of why you can't always use the guy you want to use.
They go with their big backfield. That's Horde and Bardell, and that's Horde with a good run on first down out near the 27. And he'll get 7, and it will be second down and 3. Well, every week, Beasley.
Yeah.
In the Cleveland newspapers, the Metcalf controversy continues to roll. And how are you going to get him involved?
When you look at it, you say the same thing. But when you listen to Crosby, you understand. Every team comes in and they put 2 on the guy, 2 people on the guy. So you have to go somewhere else. Somebody else has got to step up.
On second and 3. Horde got away from Tony Bennett. And Harbaugh teams up on the tackle. He'll only get a yard, but he could have lost 3 if 56 Bennett had been able to get him in the backfield.
Boy, that shows some great balance by a big football player. You take a look at this. I mean, he's basically supposed to be dead right there and dead there. That's Marshall Faulk type running for a huge big man, 225-pounder.
Horde will come out, 6 rushes, 17 yards so far here in the first half. Bardell will be the lone back. It's third down and less than 1. Metcalf out wide and in motion. Testaverde rolling, looking for the tight end Reeves. And he throws it and hits Stephen Grant right in the face mask. And I mean, Testaverde was locked onto Reeves on that entire rollout.
Downfield, what they did was they sent their wide receiver, Derek Alexander, deep. That was supposed to drag the defense off. And you know, in practice, when you lay it on the board, the tight end is supposed to be wide open. Well, he's not wide open. There's nowhere for Vinny to go, so he basically just gets rid of the ball.
It's Tom Tupa again. Punt number 3 coming up. Well, Brewer. Good punt. Back at the 20 and going down at the 17-yard line. Randy Baldwin chases him down. We'll be right back with the Colts possession. Let's go behind the stats. The Marshall Faulk factor coming to the Indianapolis Colts. You get a guy, take him that high, you've got to get him the ball, and he even wants it more. But on the breakdown, in the first quarter, you see 19 carries, 94 yards. Second quarter. Third quarter, he runs very well. In the fourth quarter of games, because of the situation of the games, he hasn't been getting it. For instance, last week against Pittsburgh, they had to throw the ball, and against Tampa Bay. So Ted Marchibroda looks down to see if he's got to play for Faulk, and let's see what they do on first down. And he hides behind a blocker behind Stasiak and runs out to the 27-yard line. Back to New York for an NFL Live update. Here's Greg.
All right, Jim, and we'll take you to the Metrodome once again, where Terry Allen has a nice little cut back here and makes it to the end zone from 8 yards out. 70 yards rushing for Allen so far today against the #1 rushing defense in the league of the Dolphins. The Vikings lead at 14-0 in the first. Jim?
All right, thanks very much, Greg. On second down and short, they go back to Faulk. He'll get the first down. He's out to the 32.
Real good power blocking and really a good two-play series. It's zone blocking. You notice the lineman just hit the guy that's in front of him, and it's Humphries with the ball. Humphries finds a little crease and picks up the first down.
Humphrey goes out wide. Top of your screen, Potts the lone back in the backfield. Here's that bootleg by Harbaugh, which he ran on so effectively the first time, and the Browns stay home this time. Ends up as an incompleted pass. That's Footman and Michael Dean Perry, who were right there on Harbaugh and wouldn't let him get loose.
Once again, you'll see both of these quarterbacks, and we've seen it already. You will see them rolling out a lot. Both quarterbacks are great athletes. Harbaugh, one of the best athletes in the league at the quarterback position, basically did a smart thing when he couldn't find anybody. He toyed around with the defensive line, waiting on somebody to come open, and then just threw it in the turf.
Second down and 10. Faulk is back in the line. Wide receiver this time. Roosevelt Potts puts his head down, rides Frank Stams out of bounds into the Browns bench, 39-yard line. Everybody that hits Potts gets a little bit of a ride. What a great kid he is. Now remember, he's got a different role this year. He was the tailback last year.
He's the man.
And now this year he comes in after Faulk is drafted, and he becomes his blocking back, basically.
He was one of the leaders among rookies last year.
Third down. 3 for Harbaugh to get a first down. Faulk's in trouble, and Dan Footman brings him down. They will not get the first down. Footman's playing well, replacing Anthony Pleasant, who started with a sore groin and came right out. And Footman has been in the backfield all day.
Everybody probably expected some type of play-action pass, but they hand it to Faulk, and man, the world converges on it. Good job by the defensive line. They were totally zoned in on Marshall Faulk that time. He went to the left, and everybody went there.
Metcalf waits. Probably going to get a chance to return one. Stark here. No, he kicks away from him over to the sideline and puts it out of bounds inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. Well done by Stark. See what the Browns can do when we come back. In a 7-7 ball game with just under 11 minutes to go here in the first half, Cleveland starts at their own 15. Walter Reeves, their tight end, changes sides on the line of scrimmage. Leroy Horde is in the backfield. That's Vardell in motion. The fake to Horde. Testaverde steps up, looking long. He's got Rico Smith, and he underthrew him, and a flag. They got Buchanan at the 35-yard line. Smith had to come back for the ball a little bit.
They had folks running open all through there. Both wide receivers were open deep. And boy, it was a long throw. I mean, you look at that throw. That's a long throw. He had to wait, did Vinny Testaverde, a long time, so the ball's a little underthrown. Rico Smith, with all of his tremendous speed, is behind everybody. We asked Bill Belichick, how fast is Rico Smith? He just said he's real fast. I mean, Rico is Forrest Gump fast. That's fast.
And you said that.
I said that.
Bill did not say.
Bill didn't say that.
Ray Buchanan picks up the interference penalty. 49-yard play there as Derek Alexander goes in motion. Ford carves his way down to the 31-yard line. Quentin Coriat and Tony Bennett team up for the stop. Interesting story about Bennett. This via Tony Siragusa, number 98. Bennett brings kind of a new attitude to the Colts. In the first game against Houston, they're driving, going down. Siragusa says, let's just hold them to 3. Bennett grabbed him by the face mask and said, they're not going to score anything. And he caused the fumble, picked it up, and scored a touchdown the very next play.
Ran it back over 70 yards.
Second down. Lobs it to Metcalf. Uh-oh, look out. That could have been picked off. As he was tiptoeing with the ball, Buchanan slid by and almost ended up with it.
Vinny is not razor sharp here so far today. This one, that should have been an easy toss to Metcalf. Rico Smith, maybe if he had anticipated the long ball a little bit sooner and really let it out there, the one to carrier on the sideline, had he have thrown it before the guy was open, you know, anticipated where the guy would be, that might have been a completion. Just a touch off so far.
Very big play. 3rd down and 5. There's a flag down in the backfield. Metcalf streaking to the 21-yard line, and the ball whizzes by him. Could be holding on Cleveland, and is. What do you do, Beasley? Take it or turn it down? It would be 4th down.
They're gonna move them. They're gonna move them back and get them out of. That would be a long kick for Dean Biasucci. What would that be? That would be about 40. I mean, not Biasucci.
Holding. Offense, number 61.
10-yard
penalty.
Long kick, so they're going to move them back, because it is within his range.
They got the center, Steve Everett, on the holding call. Incidentally, look at the back of his jersey there. He's playing with like some puffed up shoulder pads and a collar on the back there. That's to soothe some of the pain on that pinched nerve, which he's had for a few weeks, but it got real bad last week against Arizona and forced him out. He said, I knew I had to get out of there when they were slaughtering him. 3rd down and 15 after the holding call. McCoy coming after Testaverde. Metcalf catches it. Now can he do anything with it? Nope. And the Colts defense, which gave up 500 yards last week against the Steelers, has come back and really played well here against Cleveland.
Playing much better. The one long pass interference, but boy, they have done a great job.
There's the newly acquired Al Noga. Tom Tupa having a very busy day. 3rd punt. Low snap. Hands it very high. Joel Brewer calls for fair catch at the 10 to the 12. There's a flag down. Did they get Caldwell for running by him? 56 ran by him and didn't give him much room to catch the ball, and that's when the flag came down. So Indianapolis might end up with pretty good field position if the penalty's on Cleveland, and you have to think that it is. Look at Benny Thompson in there. 37 for Cleveland. Loves to play special teams. Mike Caldwell came racing down and went right off the left shoulder of Brewer. And it is against Cleveland.
Interference with the opportunity for a catch. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
There's the culprit, Caldwell. Look at him coming right down at the returner and kind of feigns, little fake, gets in his way just at the last second. You have to give the returner the opportunity to make the catch.
15-yard penalty, Beasley, a big penalty. Look at where the ball comes out to now. It would have been at about the 10-yard line had they made the catch cleanly where Brewer was. But now it's out to the 27.
It's a big field position switch. The Browns have been having trouble starting at the 5 and the 15. That would have pinned Indy back.
7-7 tie, 9:11 to go. Here in the first half, Harbaugh wants the middle. There's the tight end, Cash. And Carl Banks was covering him and brings him down at the 47-yard line.
Another play-action effort by Indianapolis. It's cover 2. In cover 2, the tight end is told to convert his route straight up the middle of the field. The linebackers have to get underneath and try to make the throw be a high throw to give the safeties time to converge in. It was not a straight shot.
19 yards and a 1st down out to the 46-yard line. They give him a little dose of Faulk, and look out, he's got room. There's a flag down late behind the play. He has a 1st down into Cleveland territory, but the play is coming back. It's going against the Colts. Holding, I believe, on Indy. And it was way behind the play.
Kirk Loudermilk asking who did it. No wonder that side was so open.
offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
And that's the left tackle on the right of your screen. And that's the reason, see him holding number 78. Got a big grab on Dan Footman, and that's the reason that end is so wide open.
That cost them 10 yards back inside the 40, back to the 38. Cost them a first down, too. And now it's first down and a very long way to go. They pitch it out. Roosevelt Potts. Frank Stams. He just forearms him, stiff arms him out of the way, and turns it into a nifty gain out to the 45-yard line.
And remember, that's the 240-plus-pound man who actually bounces it outside. Roosevelt Potts with a great season last year. Rushing leader for this team. Look at the bounce out at 240. He's got the strength for the stiff arm. I tell you, they've got good running backs at Indianapolis. They call them Thunder and Lightning, with Potts being the Thunder, and we know who Lightning is.
Second down and 11. Running out of time. Rob Burnett was coming. Harbaugh threads the needle. Potts has a first down to the Cleveland 39.
Well, Mr. Jim Harbaugh, he is putting the ball right on the perfect spot. He hit Cash perfectly. Potts, look at Potts sneaking out of the backfield. He sees his quarterback is in trouble. He'll come back into your screen right now and make the catch, even though he knows that big Frank Stams is going to pop him. Good play. Good pass.
No huddle. 16 yards on the pass play. Marshall Faulk gets the carry, and a flag goes down. They throw it right at number 44, Toner, who is just into the game for his first play for Indianapolis. And I think that's who it's going to be against. Ed Toner will pick up the penalty.
Holding offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty.
Well, they don't give it to him. They give it on Stasiak, 79.
Stasiak and Toner got out in front of the runner. They might have identified the wrong guy, Jim. I believe you might be right. See, Toner's kind of, well, no, Stasiak did hook him. He hooked the defensive player around the head and kind of cow roped him.
Well, thanks for your support on that, Beasley. I'll take the bullet on that one. It is first down and 20 now. Indianapolis making it tough on themselves on this series. They're moving the ball, but really have unplugged themselves twice now. Penalty. Browns wanted to blitz, and here they come. Banks and Stams. And Dawkins drops the ball at the 45.
Dawkins is a young receiver, and sometimes when you look at the videotape, you can see his hands on the ball, but his face a little bit off the ball. He doesn't look every pass in yet. Now, this one, he catches it, and you see how quickly that head turned to the right to see where the hit was coming from or to see which way I should make my move. He's really disappointed there. He knows he should have had it.
That's really his second drop of the game. Remember, he dropped that one ball that we really think was a fumble.
Right, and that I thought was a reception.
Second down and 20. Harbaugh gets out of the pocket. He's going to pick up a block from Potts. And Pepper Johnson got around the block, and Harbaugh goes down at the 45-yard line.
Smart move by Harbaugh that time. And I thought on the play where he got wrapped in the head, he should have ducked out of bounds right quick. This time, at least he's smart enough to get on the ground real quick after he gets all he can make. Okay, ready? Get down.
Quickly up to the line of scrimmage come the Colts. Third down, 14. Michael Dean Perry surges across the line. Harbaugh rolling and running. And he'll get to the 42, and that's it. Pepper Johnson is in on the stop, along with Mike Caldwell and Rob Burnett.
Well, like I told you, they're gonna have a lot of rollouts. Big Pepper's all over the place. Okay, there he is. Okay, he sees that he's rolling. He's spying. He is spying the quarterback because the quarterback has been running so much. Throws a move on a potential blocker. Hey, it's hard work to be a linebacker. Yeah, sit down, big boy. He's back there behind Vinny taking a break.
Well, Ron Stark, his last two punts have been really well done, and they he has not only punted the ball away from Metcalf, but he's also put him inside the 20 a couple of times. Metcalf is back again, fakes it, and they cannot make the play.
So close.
Racing down to get it was Jason Belzer. Cleveland starts at the 20 after this. There's the Browns man right there.
Yeah, I said that Jim Brown was the man. No. Really, that's the man. Art Modell. Boy, he's one of the long-time leaders in the National Football League. Great owner. He's the man.
Well, now you've already called Jim Brown the man.
Well, there's a couple of men here today.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Bardell in motion. The pitch. Metcalf. Oh, he cut back and he's got a lot of open field. To the 32. It will turn into a 12-yard run, but it was about a 45-yard run in distance. That went right and came right back.
That was his daddy. Oh, we got
that's
Steve
bad
Everett
news
down.
for
That's
the Browns if that's serious. The center of the Browns defense, offensive line rather,
yes.
Steve Everett.
Wow.
We'll check out Everett's condition, and we'll be back to the RCA Dome right after this timeout. The Browns just picked up their first rushing first down of the afternoon thanks to a tremendous highlight film type run by Eric Metcalf.
This is a dandy. That's the only word you get. This is a dandy. This is reminiscent of his father, Terry Metcalf. I chased his daddy around for years in the National Football League. Look at the cutback, and the running motion is so perfect. What speed and how smart is he to get out of bounds there? Makes the first down. First rushing touchdown for Cleveland. What a player. He went about 30 yards to gain 10.
It looks like it's the same problem for Steve Everett. The burner, pinched nerve on the right shoulder, and he loses feeling down the arm. Doug Dawson goes to the guard on the left side, and Wally Williams goes from guard to center. And Metcalf gets a block from Gene Williams to the outside and is suddenly starting to find some room around the corners of the Indianapolis defense.
Running right, and you know, Pittsburgh did a lot of damage to Indianapolis running to the right side. So Metcalf gets a little room this time. As much as he can, tiptoes out of bounds. That's talent right there.
Out at the 38-yard line. He got 7. And it is second down and 3. Flies as Bardell carries out near the 45-yard line. Pick up the call right now.
False start, offense, number 69 prior to the snap. 5 yards.
It's on Dawson, who just came in, Doug Dawson. So there is going to be a period of adjustment on that Cleveland offensive line with the new players coming in.
Well, the problem is when you lose Everett, you lose 2 people. Basically, you move 2 people. 2 positions have to be adjusted when this one man goes out. And boy, what a warrior. I mean, he refused to come out, wouldn't even talk to the trainers last week when he got hurt. He just ignored them. Went back in the game, had to go get it.
The 5 yards makes it second down and 8. 4 wide receivers set. No backs in the backfield for Testaverde. And he throws. Beautiful pass over the middle to Leroy Horde as he just got it over the fingertips of Coria, and it goes down into Colts territory for a first down to the 43.
So Vinny's sharpening up just a little bit. That time he threw the ball before the player became open, and that's what you have to do in this league. Look at the inside receiver, number 33. It's just a little seam route, but the ball is in the air before Hort even looks back for it. You have to throw it on timing to complete it in this league, and that time then he did it.
First and 10 Cleveland. Metcalf goes out into the flat, but they come near side here to Bardell, who got a great block from Wally Williams. And steps his way for another Browns first down to the 28-yard line of the Colts.
Browns are mixing it up. Sweep left, sweep right, throw down the seam. Now then the fake to your right by Vinny on a pump fake, and then he turns back around and hits his big fullback, Tommy Bardell, for a nice run. But really, it's the play calling. Right now, the Indianapolis defense is back on its heels. They don't know exactly what's coming next.
Nice block by Williams. Now shifted to center on that last catch by Bardell. He picked up 15 yards, and it's another first down. Inside the Colt 30. Bardell slants wide and gets to the 26. Wrapped up by Tony McCoy. We are at the 2-minute warning here in the first half. With the Browns threatening, we'll be back. Still a 7-7 tie. 2 minutes to go here in the first half in Indianapolis in a 7-7 ball game. And coming up, it's the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report with Greg Gumbel and Mike Ditka. They'll have all the scores and highlights. Take a look at that Miami-Minnesota game, which the Dolphins are on the short side of that one.
Big time.
And a look at the Chargers' great linebacker, Junior Seau, who they once said, he plays like his hair's on fire.
Oh, boy. Very even football game we've got so far. Look at first down, 6 for Cleveland, 9 for Indianapolis. And the yards that let you know that it's a tie ball. You look at the numbers and say, well, that must be a tie ball game. Well, it is 7-7. With Cleveland threatening, and you know what, Jim? Cleveland should be able, if they plan to do something this season, they should be able to run against the defensive line like the Indianapolis Colts have right now. They're banged up. A lot of people are hurt. They're not getting any pressure on Benny. They should be able to just line up and run it down their throat.
They have 2 timeouts left. They burned 1 earlier here in the first half. And they have 2nd down and 8. Testaverde with a lot of time. Rico Smith and a fine play by Eugene Daniels to step in front of Smith at the 7.
Once again, though, ladies and gentlemen, this ball is just a little bit late. Now, Rico Smith is open now. He's open now. The ball is just a touch, just a hair too late. That has to be thrown, Jimmy, before the receiver turns around. You have to trust that he's going to break out, and you've got to put it right there.
He was just yelling to Smith on replay, come back.
That's another point. He should have come back to maintain the vertical separation.
Now it's 3rd down and 8. Testaverde unloads, and he's got Keenan McCardle, a forgotten man in the Browns receiver corps, but he's got a 1st and goal inside the 10 at the 8.
Hey, sharp. Vinny sharpen it up just a little bit here. Look at the big motion Vinny's got. Just a big, good-looking athlete. Watch him step and boom. See, that time he threw the ball to the spot where the receiver was going.
Testaverde takes a look up at the clock. 1:20 and it's running. The numbers improving passing-wise. 1st and goal inside the 10 at the 8. Alexander goes in motion. Ford has the right side and then cut back. And cuts back again, and he loses all the way back to the 15-yard line. Stephen Grant and the rookie Damon Watts.
Well, instead of at least maintaining the spot where they were standing, he's going to lose about 7 yards. And this is a big man who's supposed to be a physical back. He should be pounding up in behind that offensive line. Instead, he's bouncing and playing just a little bit too much.
It's his first start. Watts, he grew up right here in the Indianapolis area and found out he was starting this week when his dad called him up from work and said, hey, guess what? You're starting Sunday. Testaverde needs a timeout, and he calls one with 34 seconds left to go in the half. Just one more point about the Horde run. Somebody might tip him off that he's not Metcalf.
Now, somebody needs to tell him now. Somebody needs to tell him right now.
Well, they lost a lot of yardage back to the 15-yard line. This is a doubleheader day right here on NBC. So there's your lineup coming up next. Most of you will see that AFC Central matchup. Houston and Cincinnati, both teams looking for their first win. Some of you will see Pittsburgh take on Seattle at the special time, 6 p.m. Eastern. That move is necessitated by the shift of the game from the Kingdom to the University of Washington's Husky Stadium. Tony McCoy, who's huffing and puffing a little bit. It's just amazing that he's even out there. He of the arthroscopic surgery less than 2 weeks ago.
He said he's wearing a knee sleeve today. That's the only special piece of equipment. Just to keep the the leg warm. That's all he wants to do is keep the hamstring, the muscles around the knee, warm. That's an amazing story, and arthroscopic surgery is something else.
Second down and goal from out across the 15-yard line. Ninth play of the drive coming up here with Metcalf in motion. Pressure from the outside. Testaverde to the end zone. Touchdown, Metcalf! What a catch by Eric Metcalf!
What a catch. What a throw. What a play. And guess what, Jimmy? They had the guy doubled. They had him double teamed. That's a great football player right there. Nothing but arms, hugging the man. Well, the other man. He can't get to Art Bordell or he'd hug Art.
Eric Metcalf, who has been quite open about getting the football, has been getting it today and making it pay off. And the Browns lead. Matt Stover's kick is good, and with 28 seconds to go now in the first half, Metcalf's second touchdown of the game puts Cleveland up 14-7.
Metcalf is going to come in motion. He's in the middle of the formation, breaks all the way across. Watch the catch, nothing but hands. Reaching up, stabbing it, puts it across to break the plane, sets the ball down so confidently. And look, he says, hey, baby, it's a touchdown.
The Colts dive in thinking that it's a fumble, but remember, all he had to do was break that plane, and he put the ball down. Tremendous presence to do that.
No question.
Put it across the goal line for his second touchdown of the game. And what a drive. 9 plays, 80 yards against Vince Tobin's defense.
Eating up.
421.
Wow. And see, that'll make Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator, crazy because they anticipated that Metcalf would be the man. Talking to his defensive players now. They had 2 players watching Metcalf that time.
2 big pass plays on the drive. The rifle from Testaverde down to Keenan McCardle that got them first and goal at the 8, and then, of course, the touchdown pass to Metcalf. Ronald Humphrey will be back deep. He's 25, and he's on the far side of your screen. And Joel Brewer on an onside kick as they bang it into the front line of the Colts receiving team. Cleveland bringing out the bag of tricks on special teams. Eric Turner pointing that they got it.
Jimmy, I've been on the bottom of some of these piles. That ball can change possession direction 3 times.
Browns saying they have it. Still not an official call yet. And it is Cleveland ball inside the 50 with 23 seconds to go in the half. What a great call.
It hit the blocker in the back and bounced back to Cleveland. Gerald Dixon, the linebacker, number 51, in there digging it out.
He's got the ball.
Sometimes it's the strongest guy. You get in there and it's like a tussle.
Stephen Grant, who's had a fine game, looks like he might have been the guy on the bottom of the pile because he took the worst of that. So Stover goes up, nails the ball right into the front line of the Colts receiving team, and then the Browns flood to the ball. Here it is.
Here's a real good look. The ball is bouncing back to Thompson. He gets it, loses it. Watch him crawl. Look at this. Great job by the staff, by the camera folks. Oh, and I'm telling you, underneath that pile, people start pulling. It'll go to Cleveland. Then the end, and then the strongest guy ends up pulling it back out again. And by the time the referees dig it up, who's got it? Cleveland.
They have 1 timeout left, as you see, and they have 23 seconds to play with here. And you start thinking about getting a field goal, making it 17-7 just before the half. Let's watch Testaverde manage the clock here now. They got 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. And Metcalf is the lone back. Here comes Tony Bennett. So they give it right out in the flat. Metcalf trying to get to the sideline. The Colts will keep him in bounds. He ends up being spotted down at the 45-yard line. 13 seconds to go, and now they've used the last timeout.
Well, the ideal situation would be to get one big play and get a long field goal attempt right at the closing seconds. Only 13 seconds left.
Well, they wanted to get Metcalf more involved, and there you see it rushing, but the receiving. That's been the key, and of course he has 2 touchdown catches. As compared to what the rest of the Browns have done today, and Steve Crosby certainly has gone to number 21.
Well,
he said yesterday, there are certain ball games that are designed for players. I asked him, would Ernest Biner come in here today? And he said, I'm not so sure that this is an Ernest Biner game.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a Metcalf game because it's on turf.
He's better on turf. Quicker on turf. It's hard to even imagine I'm saying this. The guy's so quick. He's quick on ice. He is lightning fast on turf.
Leroy Horde comes in the backfield now, and again the 3 wide receiver set.
Secondary is too deep. They're going to allow him to have a little play.
Testaverde will throw it away into the band over there, up into the seats, and there's a flag down at the Indianapolis 45-yard line.
Now that was a completed ball. A woman in the stands made the reception.
There's no infraction on the play. Incomplete pass, second down.
I wonder what he thought was the infraction.
Cleveland has been putting 3 receivers out to one side. Sometimes you use that as a pick play. 2 things, either a Hail Mary type of play where everybody just goes down and we see what tips to what, who ends up with it, or one of the receivers breaks out of that little covey of receivers and doing it again. 3 receivers to the top, very close to one another. One receiver may break off and go deep across the middle.
All right, let's see if it shades of Michigan, Colorado.
Hail Mary.
There's Testaverde looking for Rico Smith. Oh, it's juggled around right on the goal line, and the Colts come up with it. Damon Watts came up with it on the interception. And that's the end of the first half. So Cleveland cannot turn it in to any points after that great play on special teams.
It's here.
It was very close.
Let me tell you something. The opportunity is here. There's one catch, an interception, then it's gone. It's up. Anybody can have it. And the rookie born right here in Indianapolis ends up coming up with the ball.
What a half for Metcalf. We'll be back with Greg Gumbel and the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report after this word from your local station. 14-7, Jim Donovan with Beasley, Reece, and really how we told you at the top of the show, Metcalf versus Marshall Faulk. That's the way it played out.
Exactly the way it's been laid out. The defensive coordinators knew it, we knew it, and Metcalf with the home run catch, Faulk working. They really control Faulk, and that's exactly what we expected that big defensive line in Cleveland to try to do. The linebackers, they've all played well, and Benny is heating up right now, starting to hit some people.
Second half kickoff, Duell Brewer takes it at his own 2-yard line, and he'll be short of the 20. And once again, it's Benny Thompson down first on the coverage for Cleveland, along with Randy Baldwin. Now it's time to take a look at the Coors Light halftime numbers. Beasley?
Well, when you look at total yards, you see why this is a pretty close football game. The biggest difference is being Vinny Testaverde heating up in the passing game with 141 as compared to 74 for the Colts. And the running of the Colts is a little bit better, but still, the biggest plays have been made by, I almost call the man Terry Metcalf.
Wouldn't be the first time.
His daddy. By younger Metcalf and the arm of big Vinny Testaverde.
Been a rough first half for Marshall Faulk. He has their touchdown, but that's how much rushing yardage he has. The number on his jersey, 28 yards. First and 10. Back up through the middle. Well, he'll solve that in a hurry. Out over the 25 to the 26-yard line with that second little gear that he shifts it into.
Well, he's got 4, and I've seen all 4 of them. I've done a couple of Indianapolis games this year. He's got 4 gears, and boy, you saw 2 of them there. When you look at rushing yards, Marshall's on top, but receiving is where young Eric is making his mark today.
Here's Faulk again, first down and more, out to the 37. Carl Banks and Pepper Johnson and Eric Turner team up to bring him down.
Cleveland has got to gear up on defense. This is not a guy that you can come out of the locker room at the half and build your way back up to, because this kid will hit you real quick for 6.
Again, the no huddle, and they've gone with that through most of the ball game so far. And Faulk stumbles coming out of the backfield, and Cleveland had good penetration. So most of their linebackers, along with Rob Burnett, team up to bring down Marshall Faulk. And it would be 2nd down, and he loses 1 back to the 11.
Nice thing about Faulk is you don't have to change personnel to go to 3 wide receivers. He just splits out wide.
And he's got Marshall Faulk wide open with a move on Griffin. What a move on Donnie Griffin. Brings it to midfield, cuts it down into Browns territory, and a 1st down.
Griffin and Stams needs to stop, pick their jocks up, tuck them back in their pants. Now watch this. No way you can tackle me. Oh, he almost made him fall. Stams misses completely. Boy, this guy's got the stuff.
1st down on a 14-yard pass play. Harbaugh looking across the middle. Great catch by the tight end Cash. Stretched out and made it at the 26 and a 1st down. Pulled it away from Stevan Moore.
Talent. That's a talented tight end. Last couple of years he's had over 40 catches. That takes a tremendous amount of courage to catch the ball over the middle like that. Now don't ask this guy to block anybody now. He's not a real, he's a receiving tight end. That's what he does best.
23 yards, 1st down. Faulk trying to bounce it outside. Nice play. Dan Footman collars down Marshall Faulk and brings him back for a loss to the 29.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing there. Footman and Stams waiting in case he had to help out. Footman simply read the play. They were trying to trap him, trying to block him with one of the linemen from the inside. He throws his shoulder into the lineman, gets up and says, right back, no play.
2nd down, 13. Looks like he's checking the play off. Browns coming with a bunch of people. Dawkins didn't read the play. Looks like he was the hot receiver on the blitz, and he kept running his route downfield, and Harbaugh a little incensed at that, and he's telling Dawkins about it right now.
Well, he should be upset if Dawkins didn't see that there were 7 people coming. Dawkins is supposed to sit down now, but you know what really happens there? See, if the receiver's up on you on a blitz, you run a fade pattern. If he's off, he runs a stop. He got fooled by the corner.
3rd and 13 to keep the drive going. Harbaugh. Marshall Faulk on the high ball decides to knock it down with Frank Stams right on him. And they will not try a field goal. Instead, they'll call on Ron Stark to try and pin the Browns in, as the drive started out so well with Faulk. Oh, Beasley now just comes off the bench, and he's coming in.
Now, you know, remember everybody, with the change in the rule, if this is a miss, the ball comes back to the 38. That's where the Browns would take possession. 37, the spot of the kick.
Waiting for the snap. 46-yard field goal attempt. And he missed it. Put it wide to the left.
So the new rule gives them the ball almost at midfield.
No points for the Colts on their first possession, as Beasley yanks one wide to the left, and we'll be right back with the Browns up 7. The Browns out over the ball at the 37 after the miss on the field goal by Dean Beasley of 46 yards. Flags come down as soon as Vardell takes the ball, and our penalty called on the Browns.
Offense, number 69 prior to the snap.
It's the second one on 69 Dawson since he came into the lineup. The Browns are playing now for the 2nd straight week without Steve Everett snapping for them at center. For the 2nd straight week, he's had to leave with a pinched nerve down the right shoulder. So Dawson then comes in and plays guard. Wally Williams, who started at guard, goes to center.
And that's the bad part about it. You change 2 positions with one player being injured.
Now make it 1st and 15. Browns up by 7 on a late touchdown in the first half. Short to Vardell. He's got it at the 35 and gets it out to the 40. Damon Watts and Stephen Grant on the tackle.
Well, Vinny's starting to heat up a little bit, and the defensive line of Indianapolis continues to not find a way to put pressure on him, to break through, to put any penetration. It's a depleted defensive line.
The interception right at the end of the half on Testaverde, his 8th of the year. That's about the 3rd time that he's thrown one of those Hail Mary type interceptions.
Yeah, those really shouldn't count.
2nd down now, and 5. The pitch to Metcalf, and he's in trouble, and in big trouble. And not even the great speedy Eric Metcalf could get out of that mess with Coriat, the first man, looking him in the eye.
Well, the Indianapolis Colts have athletes who can run, and Quentin Coriat is probably the fastest of the linebackers. Look at him take on the blocker. You got people outside, people inside. That means that the runner is corralled. There's nowhere for him to go. That's not really the weak point of this Indianapolis team. Their strength is the linebacker. The weak point right now is the depleted defensive line.
What a big play. 3rd down, 13. 3 wide receivers in the game now for Cleveland. They are 3 for 8 on 3rd down conversions. They're going to run it. Metcalf hit from behind hard by Coriat, and he will be short of the 1st down. Interesting call when they really haven't gotten much pressure on Testaverde today to opt to pitch it out to Metcalf.
Well, the reason I would think that Crosby would go for that is the fact that the safeties for Indianapolis were almost 20 yards deep. I mean, they wouldn't even have to back up if they tried to throw for that 1st down. So, I mean, Metcalf missed it by 3 yards, but that, almost worked.
Tom Tupa banged his last punt. And Brewer has had a tough time returning because Tupa hangs him so high. Fair catch. Loose ball. Flag is down. I think they crowded Brewer again.
Yeah.
That would be the 2nd time today.
Yeah, we've seen this before.
Once on Caldwell. Now Horde was down there, 33. Leroy was standing right off to the side of Brewer. The first time it was Mike Caldwell, but this time it looked like Leroy was in the neighborhood. Yep, it goes against the Browns. That's Scott O'Brien, the special teams coach.
He's not happy.
Beasley, your perception of reading personalities and their immediate reactions is amazing.
Fair catch, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's a big penalty, 15 yards.
Look at that. Now you got to give the guy the room to catch it.
We'll be right back. Colts trying to tie it. It's Indianapolis ball after the penalty called against the Browns. Jim Harbaugh and company, instead of starting at their 21, they start at the 36. Michael Dean Perry now lining up, getting ready to zone in on Marshall Faulk here at the RCA Dome. 14-7 Cleveland. Floyd Turner comes in motion. Faulk off 1 hit, 2 hits. And Rob Burnett wraps him up along with Pepper Johnson. Someone lost a helmet, and I think it's Marshall Faulk.
This is just a great job by the defense. They are everywhere. And then you see the talent of Marshall Faulk. They can't bring him down.
What the Browns have really done today is keep him from making that one huge run.
Yep.
Harbaugh double clutches. Still wants to throw it. And a comeback catch by Roosevelt Potts. As Cash got leveled at the 34-yard line, there's a flag down. One official is spotting where Potts made the catch at the 28-yard line. And the other official threw a flag over where Kerry Cash got hit. So let's sort this one out. Stevan Moore is over there.
The safeties thought the ball was going to Cash, so they came in and absolutely pounded him. Carl Banks is the one that thought that Cash was the intended receiver. Carl Banks kind of bumps into him, thinks the ball is coming to him when the ball is going over his head to Roosevelt Potts.
And the discussion continues.
Oh, it's quite the discussion.
Harbaugh is saying, let's take the catch by Roosevelt Potts, because that would put us at like the 28-yard line. And he goes over to talk to Ted Marchibroda. Here's the call.
Defensive pass interference. Penalties declined. We have a catch. First down.
And there he is coming right into, Carl Banks is convinced that the ball is about to go to Cash and jump right on top of his back.
You know, lost in the whole hit, though, is a heck of a play by Roosevelt Potts to make that catch.
How does a man 240 get behind everybody? And then another point is Jim Harbaugh, with his ability, his mobility, buying more time to get the pass off.
First down, Indianapolis. They spot it at the 31-yard line. That's where they say Potts went out of bounds. Faulk, a reverse. It's Turner. And he's grabbed down at the 26. The first time Floyd Turner's been able to get his hands on the ball here today.
Well, this is one of those plays that slows down the rush of the defensive lineman. You can see Footman going right and going left. One of those plays that you call when the defensive line is giving you trouble and when you think that you've been a little predictable.
Second down and 5, and you know who threw a good block was Harbaugh. Bad decision right there. Faulk should have probably taken the ball up the middle, but when he slanted out to the left to try and kick it outside, he ran right in to Footman, and Faulk went down right on the football and might have lost his wind.
Well, he's lucky that time. It looks like they almost, as he was jumping backwards, one guy corralled his legs, and then another guy kind of fell into his thighs. See him level right there? See, one guy grabs that knee and twists it in just a little bit. Very lucky. Marshall Faulk got up and walked away from that.
Now it's another big third down play for the Colts. 3rd and 7. A lot of time. Out it goes to Potts. Pepper Johnson didn't get him. And Faulk's got the first down out at the 15.
Roosevelt Potts, the forgotten hero in that offense. Last year he was the stud. He has caught so many passes today. How Pepper Johnson misses this, Pepper will never know. And then Rosie jumping over somebody. Potts has got 5 receptions for 75 yards already in this football game. What a football play.
And a first down at the 16. Potts had to come out to get some air, so Turner comes in. Humphrey gets the carry. He's in for Faulk and brings it down to the 11-yard line.
Nice thing about having that veteran quarterback, Jim Harbaugh, really comes into play right now. Looks like Faulk is moving okay. Walking back up to the sideline and snapping his headgear back down tight.
Second down, 6. Carlos Entrich in motion on the pitch to Humphrey. Gets the corner. Don Griffin comes up with help from Stephon Moore to knock him out of bounds. And it will be another third down play for the Colts.
Okay, the first team running backs are walking back in. There's Big Potts and Marshall Faulk. So now that you've got that luxury once again when Faulk's in the game, is it going to be a 2-back set? Is he going to line up at wide receiver? That's the luxury of Marshall Faulk. He's a wide receiver. He's a running back. Potts is moving up to block and kicks him the blitz.
Harbaugh dumps it off. Potts has it. 10, 5, touchdown!
Holy cow. Here's his drive.
I mean, he took them down the field. Harbaugh helped.
The Colts gave the Browns some of their own medicine. Running back sneaking out of the backfield after faking like he's going to block and running a touchdown.
And we are tied. With 5:21 left to go in the third quarter, Roosevelt Potts takes it in, and we're even. Roosevelt Potts' first career touchdown reception.
He's lined up in the backfield. There's 42. Watch him sneak out. Harbaugh finds him. Now talk about running through a tackle. Pepper Johnson is run over. He runs through a Pepper Johnson tackle for the second time on this drive and gets his first career receiving touchdown. And there's a mad man right there.
Pepper Johnson
hot.
and Michael Dean Ferry sat with Beasley and I yesterday, and they said, you know, sometimes we have a history of preparing so much for one back, and that would be Marshall Faulk, that we get so concerned with him that the secondary back comes back and really hurts us, and Potts is hurting them.
Oh, Pepper's hot. Boy, they ate up almost 4 minutes there. 8 plays, 64 yards.
It is Metcalf on the near side, Baldwin on the far side.
And remember that Metcalf running away. I don't know what they're trying to do with that. But they kick away from Metcalf.
Baldwin will take it at the 4. And he is hit hard. It is Stephen Brandt, 59, with the head-on tackle of Randy Baldwin. We'll be right back to Indy. You're saying, didn't Indy just kick off? Yes, they did, but they were detected offside for the second time. They have been offside kicking off. So now Biasucci put it up on the tee at the 25-yard line. And back waiting, again, Metcalf and Baldwin. They have not kicked the ball his way today. But again, yesterday, Bill Belichick said, I don't mind that. That's why he's putting him back there. They normally use Ford back there. But they found that people were kicking away from Baldwin. Tie game. The Browns trying to win one here in Indy. They have lost the last 2 regular season games in a row, and they lost here in preseason too. Baldwin at the 11. And with a hurdle, he'll get brought down. Out at the 34-yard line. Let's go to New York right now for an NFL Live update, and here's Greg.
All right, Jim, at the Metrodome, the Dolphins have moved closer to Minnesota. Dan Marino, 3 yards to Greg Beatty on a drive that was kept alive by a 4th and 10 conversion. 11 touchdown passes on the season for Marino. 28-14, Minnesota's lead, Jim.
Here come the Dolphins.
Yeah, you got to figure that Marino is going to get on track at some point. Get back in that one.
Tied here, 14-14. As Vinny Testaverde brings the Browns out. They're at their own 34-yard line. Quentin Coriac. And the Colts defense will try and get some pressure on Testaverde. They've been unable to do it today. Here it comes, and they got him. And a flag. Tony Bennett sacks Testaverde.
But Tony Bennett is the one man on that defensive line.
Against the Colts.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face, number 93. 5-yard penalty.
Freddie Joe, none. Shame on you. Huge penalty.
Big penalty. Freddie Joe just joining the team. Trying to help out with that depleted line. Here's Freddie Joe driving straight in. Look at that hand underneath the throat. You can't do that. They don't let you do that.
He was giving Gene Williams.
Situation, the ball will at least get back to the line of scrimmage. First down.
All right, so the ball goes at least back to the line of scrimmage. Wow, that was Gene Williams that he was giving the next stretch to. Boy, he really stretched it back, too. So the ball goes back to the 34-yard line, and in effect, it becomes a wash. as it's 1st and 10 all over again, just shy of the 35.
They tried to hit. They wanted Metcalf deep down the seam. That's why Vinny had to wait so long.
Coriat went out to find Metcalf. Testaverde in trouble. This is Vardell. And Jeff Harbaugh got him at the 39. They'll give him the 40. And a 5-yard pickup. Make it 2nd down and 5. The Browns have led twice. Indianapolis has come back twice to tie it.
Talk to the Colts. They say that this is a new attitude. You know, maybe the Colts of yesteryear, last year, the year before that, might not have been able to regroup and come back on a good football team.
Walter Reece, the tight end, goes down in motion. The run to Metcalf. That will be a 1st down. And he almost got away. He's out to midfield. Tackle made by Ray Buchanan and Damon Watts.
He's beautiful. So quick to the hole. So quick to the hole. Finds the seam. Great balance. Watch him try to jump over somebody. He did jump over somebody. Look how quickly he gets to the hole. Watch him leap a man. He jumped over a person.
1st and 10. They are just inside Indianapolis territory. Much more involved today is Metcalf. He's gotten them into the end zone twice. This is Vardell's chance to run. Or a couple, and stretches out for maybe 3. Tony Bennett unpiles along with Stephen Grant.
You know, I thought coming into this football game that Cleveland would be able to do exactly what they're doing right now against the defensive line of Indianapolis. You know, stick them in between the tackles and push them around.
They roll out Testaverde, and on the comeback route, Alexander has it with a flag down inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. Damon Watts, the rookie, was working with him, and I believe they got Alexander for pushing off on Watts. No, they're going to change it at first. The Colts were reacting that it was going to go against Cleveland, and now instead it's going to go against Indianapolis. I bet the Browns were holding their breath on that one. Marchibroda on the other side is actually out on the field.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 36. Penalties declined. 1st down.
The Browns sealed off the corner, allowing Vinny to establish a new pocket set, and boy, he delivers a bullet. Now, we didn't see the infraction that happened just before the ball was released. When Alexander started separating himself from the DB, got a little pull on the jersey.
1st down and 10 inside the 30. The Browns driving now to try and take the lead again. Wardell, submarine, but gets inside the 25.
Hey, the defensive line of Indianapolis is surprisingly tough straight ahead. I mean, when you got one guy that just had operation and 2 other guys that are just coming in. Watch Jeff Harbaugh here, number 54 in the middle of your screen, takes on a blocker, gets up, and then submarines Tommy Vardell.
Vardell still got 4 on the play. Inside the 25-yard line. Vardell trying to get wide. There's a flag down in the Cleveland backfield. As Damon Watts brings down Vardell. And this one will go against Cleveland.
Well, let me try to guess this time. I think this one is against 62 Gene Williams. So a little bit of a takedown. We'll see. There's Big Gene. There's a lot of stuff in between.
Offense, number 62. 2-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
There he is. 305 pounds of man. He's on the right side, 2nd guy in. He gets on top of his man and then pulls the WWF.
It looked like Freddie Joe Nunn got a pretty good push to dive through, and that's when Williams got him.
You know, Freddie Joe is not supposed to be in good shape. He's playing a long time here in this football game.
Second down now, 16. Metcalf in motion, blitz coming. Testaverde on the rollout will throw it away at the 23, and they throw a flag. Now they throw it at the feet of Wally Williams, 63. And he was downfield.
Wally Williams was way downfield.
Well, Cleveland is disintegrating on this one.
There's Big Wally.
They are explaining the situation, the penalty situation, to Tony Siragusa. You know, Beasley, why don't they just go over to the coach and explain it? Because he's explaining it to Siragusa, who then is just yelling over to the coach. We could save some time.
3rd and 15 or 2nd and 20.
3rd and 15 or 2nd and 20, he yells.
Ineligible downfield on the passing team, number 63. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
So, you see what they offer. Keep your eye on the center. Hikes the ball, helps out a little bit. Now he takes off running, and now he's downfield. He's beyond the line of scrimmage, and you can't do that.
3rd down play. All the way back now to 37. Metcalf with Gene Williams out in front of him. Cuts back. Another flag.
Wow, this is getting so sloppy.
He was thrown from the back and thrown into the pile. Oh, and another one. How many in a row? 4 penalties in a row on Cleveland.
This could be a record. That's unreal. This is not a drive that Crosby will be showing as an example of how to play offensive football. There's your offensive coordinator, Steve Crosby. 4 consecutive penalties.
Well, I mean, they have just knocked themselves right out of field
They should
goal
just
range.
turn around and try to go the other direction.
Illegal crackback on the offense, number 85. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remain 3rd down.
Derek Alexander picks up the penalty.
So he peeled back and caught somebody in an illegal crackback, which would be hitting them in the back. In football, that's the equivalent of shooting a man in the back in the Cowboy days.
The ball is all the way back now to the 47-yard line. Bill Belichick is arguing about where the spot of the ball is.
Too late now.
3rd and 31.
Back up, DBs.
Incomplete for Alexander at the 35. No flags on this play.
Can you believe it?
Well, instead of going down for a potential touchdown, but certainly a field goal,
Certainly a field goal.
Tupa comes on to punt.
That hurt. I tell you, they could have turned around and tried to go the other direction. They couldn't have done as well.
Now Tupa's job is to get it out inside the 20-yard line. Brewer is back deep for the Colts. It hits at the 2 and goes in. No chance for McCardle or Baldwin to try and knock that back on a 47-yard punt and a disappointing drive for the Browns and Belichick. Jim Harbaugh, I'm sure, stinging over that Michigan loss yesterday.
Yes, I'm sure
On that last-second heave.
I'm sure he's worried about that right now.
Well, Jeff Harbaugh maybe cramping up a little bit, getting all stretched out on the sideline. Indianapolis' defense, really don't know if it was their good play or just a real pathetic performance by the Browns on that last drive. 4 penalties in a row, wiped out.
It was a drive to forget.
A definite scoring threat. We are still tied. We have 21 seconds to go in quarter number 3. The ball is at the 20. And Marshall Faulk hit high by Michael Dean Perry, hit low by Rob Burnett. And he'll get 3, second down and 7. And that should do it for 3 quarters here at the RCA Dome. We'll go to the final 15 minutes, tied in this one. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. The Browns and Colts even at 14. Jim Donovan along with Beasley Reece back at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. And as we begin the 4th quarter, Marshall Faulk lines up against Michael Dean Perry in the Browns defense. Second down, 7 yards to go. Game tied at 14. Roosevelt Potts, nothing. Michael Dean Perry got him down by the feet, knocked him down. So Marshall Faulk coming into this game wanting the ball more. They didn't want to have what happened in Pittsburgh last week. Here's what he's done today.
Well, he's gotten it, 20 of the 38 times that the Colts offense has run the ball, it has been directed at Faulk. 18 rushes, 2 receptions. So he's getting his shots, but the real damage done by the other team.
Here's Faulk in a 3rd and 7, and he will not get the first down. Out to the 28. Needed to get to the 30. Indianapolis will punt. And the offensive coordinator, some 55,800 here at the RCA Dome today, are murmuring in their seats about that call.
And the 55,000, their offensive coordinators also.
Ron Stark will punt. Incidentally, as part of the 55,000 plus here, yes, there are about 5,000 Cleveland Browns fans here.
We heard them in the hotels, in the streets. Love their team.
Stark kind of hit it funny. Metcalf made the catch over his shoulder. Got away from one tackle. But he runs right into Toner, number 44, and he is brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Well, last year they captivated viewers in one of the season's most gripping hours of television. Tonight, the mysterious aliens return to an all-new Sequest, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, right here on NBC.
See, that's my show. See, I'm an old Trekkie, so this is like the opposite of the Trekkie. We're underwater now.
That's good. That's good.
We're underwater now, man.
Let's see if Cleveland can straighten out their penalty problems. 4 in a row the last time they had the ball. After they had gotten down deep into Indianapolis territory. The ball is at the 24 for Testaverde. He's got Metcalf and Bardell in the backfield as Bardell heads out. It's a reverse. It's to Alexander. And it is deep, and he's got some blocking out in front of it. And may have picked up a first down. It looks like he's right at the marker. He took the long route around and gets out near the 34.
Boy, they got it. Usually penetration will ruin a play. Indianapolis got some penetration. They got a super block from Vinny Testaverde. When I say penetration, I mean 300 pounds of it, too. It's big Tony Saragusa. He comes in right there and forces the Alexander to go a little bit deeper than he really wanted to. Now watch Vinny Testaverde. Oh, we didn't get to see him, but he got a great block on Jeff Arad. He did pick up the first down.
And they're at their own 35. Leroy Ward is back into the game. Testaverde throws, and Hord's got it, and he is gone. He'll give Cleveland the lead again. Touchdown, Hord. 65 yards.
Well, there's a pretty good roar from a good number of Cleveland fans who made the trip here to see an exciting play. Thrown on time, the man hit in stride. It happened so quickly that the defense couldn't even react to it. That's about as good as an offensive play can get.
2014 Browns. Tupa will hold. And Stover score makes it a 7-point difference at 21-14 as the Browns have big played themselves back into the lead. Testaverde to Horde. 65 yards for the touchdown. Cleveland leads 21-14. Back at the RCA Dome. Matt Stover has the ball on the tee, ready to kick it away. The Browns, for the third time today, have forged ahead, 21-14. 65-yard touchdown reception by Leroy Horde has put them back out on top. And we'll see if Indianapolis, for the third time today, can answer. And it will be Humphrey taking it out near his 10. Teams up with Benny Thompson for the tackle of Humphrey.
This touchdown happened so quickly that the defense hardly had time to react. Look at 33 Horde working his way around. He'll break straight up the seam, the same spot that they hit Metcalf earlier. Quick catch. Buchanan takes the wrong angle. He's beaten on the play. And Leroy just kind of style runs into the end zone. Now you talk about quick and surgical. The ball is in the air before Horde even looks back. It happens so quickly that Buchanan is going at the wrong speed, wrong angle, wrong depth. Touchdown.
First down, Indianapolis. At their own 25-yard line. The fake to Potts. Harbaugh's in trouble, and he'll go down. The ball almost came loose, and Harbaugh hung on. Footman got him. Dan Footman, who is having a game.
Dan did a heck of a job. The whole defensive line did really. Now Harbaugh wants to go deep. Watch the back shoulder drop right there. He wanted to go deep, but it wasn't there. So Footman has that extra second to break through. When that back shoulder drops, every defensive back knows he's going deep.
That's the first sack in the day for the Browns. A loss of 5. Harbaugh again. Faulk catches. And he'll get to the 24. Let's go to New York right now. An NFL Live update, and here's Greg.
Sean Dawkins is wide open. But of course, Jim is on the other side of the field looking in the other direction.
Stark nails this punt. Metcalf back cracks at the 15. Hurdles and gets out near the 24-yard line. Radigan is on the tackle for the Colts. Cleveland ball when we come back. It's Cleveland ball, and they own a 7-point lead with 11-11 left to go in the fourth quarter as they try and get a win here in Indianapolis. Vinny Testaverde, 3 touchdown passes. He's had a very good day. Started off out of sync.
Yeah, he was a little off in the early going, in the early offering, but boy, he has sharpened up.
Ernest Biner is into the lineup now for Cleveland. And there he comes. And Ernest Biner with a good run on first down. Goes out near the 32-yard line. Came in last week in the second half when the Browns were floundering a bit offensively against Arizona and started to knock some people around and made some things happen.
Nice little change of pace bringing Biner in. And you know what, Jim? It's time for the knockout punch for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, if you want to win this game, you take them down in here and you throw that right cross right now. You know, boom, at some point, they have to discourage, try to break the will of Indianapolis as a team.
It is second down, 2. Biner again. He's got the first down and dives out at the 36-yard line. Hey, Beasley, let me change the times here and give you the correct times of Sequest tonight. Okay. The new Sequest tonight on NBC, 8 Eastern Time and 7 Central on NBC. Okay. Steve Everett, finding out that the times are different, is heading off to watch Sequest.
Well, he's
right
got to get dressed quick enough to get home in time to get set. He'll have to change the remote with the right hand.
Everett having that problem again with that pinched nerve down the right shoulder and forced out of the game.
So we'll have to work the remote with the left hand.
First and 10. Testaverde and the Browns, after 2 Biner runs, give them first down yardage. They're going to get a flag as he climbed up the back of Tommy Vardell. Stephen Grant all over Vardell.
Pass interference, defense, number 59. First down.
Tune your eye to the right of your screen. There's the competition between Vardell and Grant. And boy, the folks here in town don't like it. They say touchdown. Tommy tripped on the 0 of the 40-yard line marker.
Defensive coordinator Vince Tobin agrees.
They say Tommy tripped on a hash mark.
First down for the Browns, 41-yard line. Leroy Horde back in the game after his touchdown catch of 65 yards. Back in, brings it out over the 40, near the 43. That 65-yard reception, you would think, for a running back might be his career high, but he actually had a 71-yard touchdown catch in his career, and it's his 12th career touchdown.
He's got good speed, too. That's what's impressive about Leroy at 225, 230. He's got very good open field speed.
It's a good sight for Browns fans. Not only the score, but that clock moving down. Jeff Harbaugh limping off now for the Colts, and they can't afford to have him out of there too long, struggling with a left knee. Vardell bangs it outside, and he'll lose yardage.
There's that rookie again.
He's played pretty well.
Yeah, Damon Watts has played very well. And you talk about a slight of built young man. That's a tiny little guy. Well, by football standards. 5'10", 173. But he's coming up and he's hitting big people like Vardell. He's making interceptions at the end of the half. Hasn't done a bad job for his hometown of Indianapolis.
All right, major play now for the Colts defense. Third down and 10. They must really hold the Browns here. Testaverde rolls from the pressure. And Watts knocked the ball away from Alexander, who almost came back. Daniel, rather, knocked the ball away from Alexander, who almost came back and made the catch face down on the carpet.
That's the second very, very nice play by the veteran in this secondary, Eugene Daniels. Then he buys himself a little time with the rollout here. Makes a nice throw. The receiver's trying to come back for the ball. And Eugene just gets in and stabs the ball away. That's good job. Good coverage.
Two-foot a punt.
Wow. What a punt.
Brewer calls for fair catch. He lets it hit. Baldwin goes down by the 1 and knocks it back.
Superior. Special. Oh, no. It went in.
So they're going to say it's a touchback.
Well, Jim, the guy that caught the ball, apparently his foot touched the white stripe. Wow.
All right, we'll be back to sort that out. 21-14 Browns.
Bad call alert for you. You tell me who touches the white stripe. Baldwin does not touch it. He obviously, clearly kicks it back in bounds. And then on the other side of the play, after he kicks it in bounds, tell me who touched it. Look at the feet. Never touched the white stripe. The ball should be at the 1-inch line.
But instead, they get it at the 20, and they send Marshall Faulk on his way, and he was another step. Eric Turner and Pepper Johnson.
He was about to roll. That time they got some good blocking out in front of him.
Yeah, there was a change of speed there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So they get big Marshall Faulk in front of him. Good seal off by the tight end. He got the second gear. If he gets the third, you better look out.
They go back to him, and he will not get the first down. Michael Dean Perry sliced in there to bring him down as they caved in that right side. So it looks like not only did he not get the first down, but he's lost a little yardage. And now it becomes a tricky play on third down and 3. And as has been their custom throughout the game, they are not going to a huddle. back in with Craig again.
All right, Jim, and we take you to the Metrodome from 10 yards out. This is Bernie Parmalee following the good blocking, wins the race to the end zone. 10.5 minutes remaining. The Vikings and the Dolphins are tied at 28. Incidentally, 28 points, the biggest deficit ever overcome for an NFL regular season win, Jim.
Unbelievable. Wow. Miami right back there with Minnesota. And some movement. 73's across Moss.
Full start offense. Number 73 prior to the snap.
Just when they get the first down, now they give him back 5 yards, and it will be tough to get this first down. And you know, Beasley, with 6:18 to go, they are kind of getting to the point where this drive might have to be the one.
I know I would be approaching it. If I was Ted Marchibroda, this would be the drive. If I had anything in the playbook that I hadn't used yet that was safe and solid, I'd pull it now.
They need 15. Dawkins cannot hang on. Tough catch to make. The ball was low at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, and Frank Stamms was in very good position, so Dawkins had to run past his body, then pick the ball back up again. That's a good drop by a linebacker. That's a play that, you know, you don't recognize that he made that play, but I tell you, he was right in the throwing lane, and Dawkins had to try to find it around his body.
Right down here at the bottom of your screen, that's Marshall Faulk as a wide receiver. Harbaugh looking, throws, and it is caught at the 35-yard line. The catch by Turner, that's his second catch now in this series. But they are well short of the first down.
Very important play alert. Here we go.
Third down now. And 8. They look a little bit confused on this play.
Great disguise by the defense. They're coming with everything.
Here's the blitz. And he throws it down the middle. And again, Dawkins and Harbaugh are not on the same page.
Good job by the defense. Moving in, out. The safeties acted like they were up, they were back, and the quarterback is reading all of that movement, trying to get a pre-snap read. But look, you see the safeties are up, Turner's up. They're coming from both sides, and Harbaugh has no recourse as he is knocked flat. But to get rid of it, waited as long as he could. See, Dawkins obviously doesn't recognize the blitz here. Obviously doesn't recognize it. He should have done a quick in, quick out, something quick.
Here's Metcalf. And there he goes down. Loose ball. Are they going to rule him down? Yes. The official is saying that Metcalf is down. Big call. Cleveland ball at the 19-yard line as Metcalf is slow to get up. Ed Toner was down to pick up the loose ball.
This is an ugly hit on Metcalf. One guy grabs him. He's in a horrible position. And he is certainly down.
Browns ball with a 7-point lead when we come back.
Back to the last blitz play. You see Dawkins, number 87, the wide receiver at the top of your screen, does not read the blitz, does not sight adjust according to the team's plan. He throws his hands up like what happened. And then on the sideline, quarterback Harbaugh and wide receiver Dawkins go at it a little bit, have to be restrained by the lineman, Kirk Loudermilk. Very upset. Something obviously said to Dawkins about not picking up the blitz adjustment. And that's something that's a mistake that young players make. He has got to learn to read everything.
Well, it's also about 3 times that it's happened here in this game. 1st and 10, Cleveland. And that's Ernest Biner. Biner coming in now and helping the Browns out as they try and run the clock. And they gets it out near the 25. Colts need a defensive stop, and pretty quickly. Everybody has their timeouts, and they have them all. Beasley, at some point, do they have to start calling defensive timeouts?
Well, they got to start calling them. I wouldn't call them right now, but I would certainly start thinking about it. When we get under 4 minutes, I would start thinking about time conserving the clock.
Scott Radisek is in at linebacker, replacing Harad as you saw him getting work done. Testaverde on 2nd down for Brian Kitchen, and he lost the ball at the 45-yard line, and they're going to rule it an incomplete
some calls today. Well, he's not getting them. That might be the biggest one in this game.
All right, but let me just say this. Let's go back earlier. Remember, I think they got one when Dawkins appeared to fumble earlier in the game, and that was ruled
That's right.
incomplete.
They did get the call there.
In the meantime, this clock is running down on them. They're holding on to those timeouts, and Cleveland's got it. First down after the Horde run to the 35. Testaverde wants it all. Incomplete. Rico Smith down at the 20-yard line. He went back to 84, Rico Smith, and he's almost had him twice.
You know what? He's wide open. This should be a touchdown. Everybody's chasing. Rico Smith is so fast. And look how lucky Damon Watts is. The rookie makes another play. Sticks up his hand. It's instinct. He doesn't know where the ball is. That's a great play by Watts, and that's a misfire. Then he puts another 2-3 feet on that ball. That's a touchdown.
Second down and 10. 3:22, and on that incompleted pass, the clock is stopped. Metcalf, short of the 40. They'd have to get over the 45, near the 46. Not exactly to the 46, but near it to get the first down. We have a Browns player down injured, and the clock continues to go down on them. Wally Williams is the player getting up slowly for the Browns, and the stoppage in the clock right now is on the official for the injured player Williams. All right, what about timeout philosophy, clock management?
I would wait until, I said under 4 minutes, but really under 3 minutes. I would call the first one under 3, and then you got to realize you're going to call them very rapidly after that. You want to call one under 3. You want to hope for a 2-minute, and then maybe hopefully have one left. See, the idea is to have your timeouts when you're on offense. So they've got to try to save them as long as they can.
Now Williams has come off the field, and so the Browns will have to use their third center of the day. So let's see who's going to come out and snap the ball. Will it be Dawson? Yes. Doug Dawson will snap on this third down and 5 play. Indy must hold them here. Mark Carrier, first down Cleveland, and he stayed in bounds.
And now it's time to use one of them. It's time to use one timeout now. You got to get to offense with some type of a timeout in your pocket.
Carrier's first catch of the day, and really a nice play.
This is huge. And see, the difference, the veteran Carrier, Mark Carrier, reads the sight adjust. He's in the same frame of mind as his quarterback, as opposed to the young wide receiver, and the new relationship with the Indianapolis Colts, with Harbaugh being new.
Well, they're going to have 3 timeouts. And the way things are going, they might have them by the end of the game, too. We're at the 2-minute warning.
I'm Greg Gumbel in New York. It's all over at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. For the Rams, Chris Chandler in the first quarter, 72-yard touchdown catch from Flipper Anderson. The first time in 204 games a Joe Montana quarterback team has been shut out. The Rams beat the Chiefs 16-0. Back to Jim Donovan and Beasley Reece in Indianapolis.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. What a score there from Arrowhead Stadium. Right here, the Cleveland Browns leading over the Colts by 7.
The big adjustment, an 8th-year wide receiver Carrier and an 8th-year quarterback Vinny Testaverde, right in sync with one another. They played together for years in Tampa, as opposed to the new relationship on the other side of the ball, missing those opportunities.
The Colts have all of their timeouts left, 3 of them. And the Browns run it left and get it down to the 48-yard line, and now the Colts will start using the timeouts. And look at Biner snuggling up with that football.
He still had it covered with 2, didn't he? That's the only thing that could kill Cleveland at this point, would be a fumble, and we know they're not going to pass.
Marchibroda wondering now if he'll ever get the ball back. 1:55 left, 2 timeouts in their possession. They're 7 points down. This is doubleheader day right here on NBC. So coming up, game 2 of your doubleheader. Most of you are going to see that AFC Central matchup, Houston and Cincinnati. Then some of you will see Pittsburgh battle Seattle at that special time of 6 Eastern, a move necessitated by the shift of that game from the Kingdom to Husky Stadium. Those are the other games today. New England and Detroit, San Diego and the Raiders. So stay tuned for game 2 of the doubleheader. Vinny Testaverde and the Browns 155 away from winning here in Indianapolis, which for this team is a major step. And they would go to 3-1 and go back home next week against the Jets. Ted Marchibroda looking at a 3rd loss in a row unless he can turn a miracle here. And a home date here next week against Seattle.
In the defense, they were saying, the veterans were saying, tackle the ball. Hold him up, pull his arms, try to make him fumble. For the offense, for Belichick's team right now, they're saying cover the ball up with 2 hands. The offensive lineman must win the game right now.
And a chant of "Let's go Browns" circling here at the RCA Dome. As I said, over 5,000 Cleveland fans here watching their Browns. And here come the Browns out of the huddle. Ball is at the 48-yard line. It is 2nd down and 6. Biner and Vardell in the backfield. Oh, they're going to roll and throw. And Vardell is wide open. Down the sideline. Goes out of bounds. They'll mark him inside the 30 at the 29.
Well, that takes nerve. That's so creative. It makes you crazy, isn't it? With the world saying they're going to try to run the clock out, there's no way they're going to pass. I certainly never expected it. He completely fools the defense by calling a pass. That's just excellent play calling, gutsy play calling. You can't say that Browns tried to sit on a lead and sneak out of Indianapolis, can you?
No, and they haven't sat on it all day long. I mean, he's been going long to Rico Smith. He's been throwing the football. They go back to Biner. Biner stepping his way to the 25-yard line. Back to New York right now. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim, at the Metrodome in the face of 28 unanswered points, the Vikings have come back. Scotty Graham, 3-yard touchdown. The Vikings up 35-28, and they are inside the Miami 30-yard line with less than 4 minutes to play, Jim.
Boy, Greg and Beasley, that's got to be murder to come back from 28 points back like that, and then suddenly you've got all the momentum, and Minnesota gets off the deck and scores.
Oh, that could just be disheartening.
So the Colts used a timeout. They have 1:40 remaining to kill on the Cleveland sideline. Boy, the way they've been calling plays, who knows what they're going to send in here.
And that's exactly the problem that the defense has at Indianapolis. What are they going to do now?
Jeff Herod has never returned, and he's got ice everywhere. Yeah.
Period.
I mean, you are taking out
the leading tackler
year in and year out.
Strongest man on the team, pound for pound.
Vinny Testaverde needed a long drive to kill this clock. This is the 10th play of this drive, and he's down near the 25-yard line of Indianapolis. Biner again.
Hold him up and pull at the ball. You see 34 doing just that. Buchanan pulling at the ball.
And that's going to be timeout number 3 spent by Indianapolis, and they are out of it. With 1:34 remaining. And the Browns are coming up on probably, it looks like about a 3rd down and 7. What a day for Mr. Metcalf. 2 touchdowns.
Some gorgeous plays.
Vince Tobin. Defense hung in there all day. The guy is really working with mirrors, at least on the front 4.
Absolutely. The defensive line, he has only 1 or 2 of his real starters are there.
Remember, they brought in Al Noga, Freddie Joe Nunn, but they brought them in Wednesday, and I think the first time they worked out was Thursday. And Marshall Faulk, I think, really got handled here today by Pepper Johnson and the Browns defense.
And when you say handle, I mean, I have to qualify that a little bit and say that the defensive line and the defense of Cleveland is superior athletically to the offensive line of Indianapolis. So they handled Indianapolis more than they did Marshall Faulk.
Held them to 59 yards rushing. Now it's 3rd down, and 7. Biner again. And they will go down to the 25-yard line. Cleveland can ride it out here because Indianapolis cannot stop the clock. So they'll just let it go down as far as they can here. There's no way that you would risk a field goal here, Beasley. You don't need the points.
No, I would punt it.
Matt Stover is stepping out on the sideline. Just limbering up just in case. Belichick and Crosby are talking about what the decision's going to be. They're just going to let it down, run down.
Well, a field goal could be blocked and returned for a touchdown.
Yeah.
A punt. So even the Browns called the timeout this time so they can talk about it.
Well, rather than take the penalty and go 5 yards back, he is telling Tupa what he wants him to do.
Big decision.
Now, he told us yesterday, Belichick did, that Tupa pooch punts very well.
Okay.
So he's very confident in Tupa just pooching the ball down near the 5-yard line and trying to run it out of bounds. There's Scott O'Brien, the Browns special teams coach, instructing them. Now, remember also, the Browns have committed some penalties today when they've gone down on coverage, given up 30 yards on getting too close to that punt returner on 2 separate occasions. And it will be Tupa on the field. Gets it off. Faulk takes it. Get out of bounds, and he does. 22-yard line. Now with 10 seconds left.
Not much you can do here. You can throw it down deep and hope for maybe you get a pass interference call. Cleveland only rushed 3 rushers the last 2 times.
And that's how good the Tupa punt was. I mean, you take away a lot of your possibilities.
Absolutely.
Belichick wants a timeout to talk to his defense. Bring him over. That's Nick Saban, the defensive coordinator, along with him. Second half of the doubleheader, remember, stand by. Game 2 is coming up for you. Most of you, again, will be heading out. Houston, Cincinnati await for you. Some of you will see that Pittsburgh-Seattle game with that special start time at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And those are the other games we offer you today. New England and Detroit, San Diego, and the Raiders. As Cleveland holding on for 10 more seconds to get out of Indianapolis with a win. And they'll have the plane warmed up and ready to go if they can get out of here with a W. Because they have gone home the last 2 years. A sad bunch.
Sad bunch. You see Belichick there patting his punter.
Incidentally, Beasley, this would be his first win over his teacher, Ted Marchibroda.
Okay, we got a Hail Mary possibility. 3 receivers left, 1 right, only 3 rushers.
And there's a flag, and Rob Burnett, 90 of the Browns, is waving them back. Come on back.
Big Rob Burnett calling them back.
Holding offense, number 73, 10 yards.
Zephros Moss hit with the holding call.
And let me tell you something, that's sad, too, because they had 5 offensive linemen to block 3 defensive linemen. So if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I say, what? I say that also. You got 5 guys to block 3 and you got a hold.
1 second left. And this is it. Burnett almost got him. It is Eric Turner, and that's the ball game. The Cleveland Browns have won it here in Indianapolis over the Colts, 21-14. Turner's 3rd interception of the very nice drive at the end of the game to kill the clock. Metcalf wanted the ball, asked for it a lot more this weekend, got it and made it pay. Jim Harbaugh had his problems with his wide receivers, in particular Sean Dawkins, and it got heated on the sideline when the two of them could not get on the same page all day long. So the final score, once again, the Browns win it 21-14. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, Game 2 of the doubleheader. Beasley, Reece, and Jim Donovan saying so long from the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. This has been a presentation of NBC Sports in our 30th year of covering the NFL.